All right. Welcome to everybody out there. This is Amateur Radio Roundtable. It's Tuesday night. And my sinuses are giving me terrible fits. I feel a sneeze coming on. Anyway, thank you, everybody out there, and especially if you're listening to us on international shortwave on shortwave station WBCQ on 7490. We're so glad you're with us tonight. Send us an email and let us know where you are and give us a signal report. We'll try to get you a QSL card from WBCQ. Send the email to Tom at w5kub.com. Tom at w5kub.com. Welcome all of our regulars, and I think we've got a few new people in the chat room tonight. Welcome. If you're new, just let us know in the chat room who you are, and if you're new, I'd love to see who you are and say hello to you there. Also, please hit the subscribe button. That helps us out a lot if you'll hit the subscribe button there on YouTube, and it helps us to rank our show, and it helps YouTube to advertise it to other people that are looking for content similar to ours. So please do that. Let's see what's going on here. Boy, I can't believe it's already getting close to the end of November. Man, we've got Thanksgiving coming up this weekend. Everybody, I hope you have a nice Thanksgiving there with your family. Alan is out tonight. He's traveling. Next week, be sure and tune in next week. Raisha from Russia, R1BIG, is back with us next week. Raisha will be with us about every other week. It's a long ways to Russia, and it's a major time difference, so it's real difficult. But we're lucky that she can join us every other week. So please join us next week and see what Raisha has for us. I think it will be fun. She's always got some fun stuff out there. We've got Jason Johnston, KC5HWB, is back with us tonight. I don't know where he's been the last 6 months, 8 months, but he needs to come back and visit us more often. I mean, Jason, how you doing tonight, man?
Oh, I'm doing okay, man. Just trying to recover from all of the traveling I've been doing basically since the first part of, middle of October, basically. I've just been in and out, but such is life, man. I'd rather be traveling than stuck at home, so it's all good.
Well, I guess that's good, and it seems like things are opening up more now. People are getting out and getting around, and there doesn't seem to be as much worry as there used to be. I mean, what are you finding down here in Texas?
Texas is pretty open and has been for a while now. Going to Hawaii last week, which is my wife and I bought a Hawaii vacation like 2 years ago. We were supposed to go in May of 2020. That got canceled, moved back. So we finally used that time we had bought 2 years ago. We used it last week. We went to the island of Kauai. And in areas like that where there's just a lot more tourist travel, they're a lot more stringent on mask wearing and social distancing and that kind of thing. And that's okay. That's okay. We knew that going in. That's not a problem. But yeah, I mean, we haven't worn a mask indoors in Texas in 6 months, something like that. So I went to Costa Rica 3 weeks ago with the group, the Ham Radio Club here in North Texas that goes there once a year. We didn't get to go last year, but for the last 6 or 7 years prior to last year, we went to Costa Rica about once a year. I didn't go every year, but they did. And we went back the last week of October this year, and you gotta have a COVID test or vaccine to go down there. You gotta have a COVID test to come back. You gotta wear masks inside while you're there. So we haven't had to do that in Texas for a while. So it's just different areas, different things, and none of it good or bad. I'm just saying that's how it is.
Did you have to wear a mask on the airplane?
Yes. You have to wear a mask when you're in the airport and on the airplane.
Ooh,
the whole time.
That's a long time to wear it.
It is. Yeah, it is. Nonstop flight from Dallas-Fort Worth Airport to Honolulu is about 8 hours to get there. And of course, when you get you get to that hotel, you get to the airport like an hour and a half early. So you're talking 9 to 10 hours with a mask on. It was kind of uncomfortable after that long, but
yeah.
So,
Well, I can tell you didn't get the cheapest ticket because those tickets they require you to hold your breath for the entire flight.
right? Yeah, that's true.
Wow, that's some time. I've traveled the world on my job over the last 30 years, but I've never been to Hawaii. But I guess my longest flights have basically been either Hong Kong or actually the longest flights were from Australia. I think those flights were like 21 hours or something.
Yeah.
I don't see how they keep an airplane in the air 21 hours, to tell you the truth, man.
I've never been down that. I've never been to Australia. I've been to Europe. Yeah. I've been to South America a few times, Central America, South America. Been to Hawaii 4 times.
Yeah.
I would very much like to go to like the Middle East and parts of Asia, and Australia, but I've never been that far yet. So we'll see.
Well, we have a ham in the chat room from Iraq tonight. Iraq.
Yeah.
Maybe you can go and visit him there.
Yeah, it'd be great.
You need to hook up with the Y3 there, and maybe he can get you in the country there. All right, let's jump over to Glenn Popiel. Glenn, how you doing tonight, man?
Oh man, hanging in there. Starting to wish I could go back to Hawaii. I've been there twice myself. Last time was like 20 something years ago, and I flew out of Atlanta, Birmingham to Atlanta, and then Atlanta nonstop, and it was like 16 hours in the air for us. It was an ungodly amount of time.
Yeah.
And I just can't imagine wearing a mask for that amount of time in that flight, because just sitting in that seat alone, your tail gets sore and you want to get up and move around. And I just can't imagine having to wear a mask that whole time.
Oh yeah.
But,
well, look, hey, while we got you, I think you got some news there, don't you? Don't you have some celebrities? You got some celebrities or something?
I got celebrities in the house here. This is one of them. ARRL, and I've been having to sit on this for 3 months now. The new 2022 calendar is out, and that's our CEO's cat on the cover there. But let's scroll in a little bit. And actually, if you'll share the screen, Tom, we can do it that way.
All right, let me share the screen here. I'll do that.
Let me find the file.
Yeah, okay.
Give me a minute. I hadn't really thought on this. Hadn't thought this through.
So it seems that Rodan there has hit the big time.
Yeah. Let's see here. We'll get there. We'll get there in a second. I got so many files on this computer. Here we go. And we'll do it this way. We'll do it the easy way. I hope. Come on. Here we go. All right. We'll do it this way. Now let's share this screen. I've got too many windows.
Yeah, I'm seeing your password right now.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. There we go. We got it. It's slowly figuring it out. All right. I've got it in Adobe,
Wow.
so we'll just have to do it that way.
Wow.
But yeah, um, gosh, I'm drawing a blank on who our CEO is. I could have told you if he hadn't asked me.
That's all right. We'll look it up later.
Of what?
ARRL.
David Minster.
Dave Minster, yeah.
Yeah.
That's his ragdoll on the cover there. And then there's our back cover, so you can see all of the cats that made the calendar. And then there is Godzilla. She got April. Now, you don't get to see Godzilla on the show very often. But that desk that she's on is the same one that you see beside me here that Rodan always sits on. And, of course, there's Rodan. I was taking pictures for the book, the latest book, and of course she has to go up and steal the parts and control the parts, and that I had to carefully crop that photo to get the picture that I wanted because she would not let that thing go. But yeah, they made August and April. So anyway,
All right, well, the question we got a question. Do they have a dog calendar?
I do not know. I would expect that would be the next thing for next year. Of course, would be to do dogs. But for some reason, seems like a lot of hams have cats, and a lot of folks that watch the show here love watching this monster show up, and. So I guess they just decided to go that way, and I was just really, really surprised when they called me and asked for some photos of my two. And I was very surprised that they used them for 2 months.
Well, all right. We will watch TV and everything, and I know they're going to start showing up in commercials and all kinds of things. So.
Hey, they're going to have to earn their way. I mean,
That's right, man.
You have no idea how much food costs for these things.
Well, I imagine that one can eat several pounds a day.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. All right. All right. Well, congratulations there.
Thanks.
That's cool, man. To have your pet on the ARRL calendar.
Yeah. It's really, really neat.
Yeah.
They're more famous than I'll ever be.
So, hey, tonight, some of the things I've got lined up on the show tonight, I want to talk to you about. I'm trying to get my satellite system back on. Right now, I have a frozen rotor. I've got to go up and take my rotor down, and I don't know what's going on with it, but do some rotor repair to get back on satellite. But I've got a video of one of the programs that I use. It's called Sat PC, or PC Sat 32. And I'm going to give you a little
Sat PC 32.
Sat PC 32, and I'm going to give you a little demo of that and how nice it is. And that's a free program. If you want to use it, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just that on the free program, you have to put your lat and longitude in each time you turn the program on. But yeah, that's the only difference between that and the paid program. We'll talk a little about that. De-ice on the rotor. I don't know. We don't have any ice here right now. Although it is getting cold here, but I don't think we have any ice. But it may be that the grease inside has gotten cold and kind of, sluggish. I don't know.
When was the last time you turned it? 1932?
No, it's been several months, but usually I could rock it back and forth and it would start moving, but didn't seem to move right now. So we'll work on that a little later. Also have pulled up a video. We'll be going. We're going to be having Thanksgiving here at home this year, but we're going to go over to our house over in North Carolina right before Christmas for a little while, and I'll be operating portable over there. So I pulled up a video to show you guys how easy it is to put up an antenna that works. I think it's an outstanding antenna. It works all bands. So easy to put up. I'm going to show you a little operation putting up an antenna over in North Carolina, and also a little operation there. And then we've got a project that is very familiar to Glenn, and that is an Arduino CW decoder that I built up a while back. We threw it together pretty fast. It doesn't look great, but I wasn't really building it to use. I just kind of threw it together to see how well it worked. And we're going to give you a little demo on that tonight. And I had some trouble with the firmware there, and I think Glenn was the one that solved my firmware issue there. I can never decide how to get those Arduino, all those folders and files in the right folders, and oh man, it's a mess. So once I get it working, I just have to kind of leave it like that. So
you overthink it on the libraries, and it's literally just place them in the folder and the program figures it out. It's not like you have to install a program.
Yeah,
like
well, that's true. That's true. But even overthinking is tough for me. I can easily overthink. That's what it is. Hey! I want to give everybody just an update. You know, this past week we launched a Pico balloon, W5KUB 103, and we thought it was going to really do well. It was an SBS balloon. These aren't cheap balloons; they're about $170 each. We've flown many of them in the last year and a half, but we got up to altitude. 2 weeks prior to that, we launched one, and when we hit 41,000 feet, we had a massive failure, and it came down. It didn't super pressurize and stay there and float. It just, when it hit that altitude, it burst.
Yes. What is it with you've lost like 3 of the SBSs in a row?
Well, we've lost a number of them now, and when that happens, the tracker is going to reach terminal velocity coming down. There's no parachute, so terminal velocity coming down, that's about 200 feet per second. And at 40,000 feet, it takes 200 seconds for it to hit the ground. So that does not give us time to give another whispered transmission, because a whispered transmission is 2 minutes long. So so we've lost several of those. Now there's been a number of people lately, and there's a lot of people discussing this. A lot of people are starting to lose their SBS balloons at 41,000 feet. Now there's no way to say what's going wrong there, but there's been a whole bunch of them lost when they hit that altitude. So what we're going to do next is we're going to keep it simple. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid, and we're going to go with a very light built payload. It's going to be about 10 grams, and it's going to it'll be W5KUB-104, and we're going to use We're going to use a little 36-inch Chinese balloon. This is what they look like. And several people, this is all they fly, and several people have had fairly good luck with these. I talked to a guy today, and he's had one that's been up 22 days. There's another guy that is using this balloon, and it's actually gone around the world 7 times. So instead of paying the $170, we're going with $1.49 balloon. So this is $1.49, and what we're going to do, we're going to tandem 2 of them together. Now, tandem 2 of them together won't do a whole lot, but it will lift more weight because the weight is distributed between the 2 balloons, and it will pick up about maybe 2,000 extra feet in altitude. This is going to be a low-flying balloon. If we can hit 30,000 feet with this balloon, that's going to be high. So I'm thinking we're going to probably be in the 27,000 foot range. We could hit 30, but I think we'll probably be in the 27,000 foot range. The problem that presents us is the storms. There are many storms that the clouds are, 27,000 feet high, and when these things hit a storm, they come down instantly. So, but this is our next launch. We're going to go simple, and as I told everybody when we started the Pico balloons back back a couple years ago for the show, we felt like you were only going to get around the world every 10th balloon. And that's just about what we have found out, that we'll make 10 launches. And it takes, well, I think on our 9th launch, we made it around the world 3.5 times with our first balloon. So, it's luck, it's weather, it's all kinds of things out of our control. But we're going to try that, and I hope we'll have some fun with it. And we have surely lost enough trackers that if a person could just pick them up off the ground, they could open a tracker shop, I'm sure. We're way up there right now in trackers. But,
if you put your call sign on it, somebody might mail them back.
Well, the problem with that, Glenn, is when they start coming down at terminal velocity and they hit the hood of a BMW or a Mercedes.
In Tennessee?
Wherever, maybe in Atlanta, in Atlanta, when it hits that hood of that BMW at terminal velocity, I've got about a couple $100 in that, but the only thing I could recover would be the tracker that I home build, which is I have about $40 in parts in that tracker, so I could recover maybe $40 worth, but who knows, the lawsuit might be several thousand. So
that's what insurance for.
My name doesn't go on that. Now we might put Glenn's call on the one we launched. We're going to try to launch in about a week to 10 days, our tandem balloon there, and we'll probably put Glenn's call on that. So if anybody
do it, I've got an alibi. I'm at work.
Now, Glenn, if anybody does contact you, you do not know us, okay?
No.
You don't know us, even if they threaten and take you to jail, and you don't know us, okay? I just want that.
This is what insurance is for. That's what the comprehensive insurance is for. It won't even meet a deductible.
I'm not sure my insurance covers that. I have to look. Have to look. What do you think, Jason? Do you think my insurance covers terminal velocity coming out from 40,000 feet down on the top?
I think there are insurance plans that will cover that, but does yours do it? I would guess no, unless you put that rider on there specifically. But,
yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
I could call them and ask, but they'd probably think I was crazy.
Well, they probably jack up your rates, is what they do.
They probably would, and I'm not sure I want to call them because you may not know it, Jason, but in February I had a 100-foot tree come through my house, and the insurance company.
I think I've been on the show and you mentioned that a while back.
The insurance company was very good at taking care of everything. I'm just really happy with them, and no increases and
good.
So
good.
I don't know, man.
Was that part of the hurricane, Tom?
No, this was ice storm. This was ice storm back in February. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Gotcha. So look, let's do this. I'm gonna put a little video on here, and we'll talk about it in a little while. I want to talk about just a simple antenna you can use first. And let me just preface it by saying this. I'm looking at some of these new Facebook sites for new hams, and man, oh man, it just hurts me, Jason, when I see these guys. I mean, the first thing they want to do, they got to put up a dipole, but they got to have the LMR 400 on it, Man, and that's not necessary, guys. At HF,
it's not. It's not.
The LMR 400 is not necessary at HF frequencies, and you're not going to tell a difference. But anyway, I mean,
Well, I don't know if I'd say that. You might to a new ham, you're probably right, Tom.
Yeah.
To a trained ham, I think you could tell a difference. And on a permanent install, you're talking about putting something up at your house.
Yeah.
On a permanent install, I have LMR 400 on my dipole.
Well, and I'll even admit that I have 4 runs 130 feet long of LMR 400 myself underground in a conduit. Going out
There's a reason all the contest stations run hardline.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're talking about going out and doing soda or POTA. No, you're not. You don't want to carry that heavy stuff.
No,
of course not. Of course, and you don't. And you're absolutely correct when you said you don't need it. But I think it's important to know that it does. Once you get on HF for a while and you get to start to listening to QRM and you get to start to listening to pileups and to weak signals and whatnot, it can make a difference. to the trained ear.
Maybe if the run is long. I mean, and maybe if you're up on 20 meters, 10 meters, 15. But I'm gonna tell you, if you're running 25 or 30 feet out to a tuner, use RG8X. Let me tell you.
Those contest stations that run hardline, they're going 100 feet away from the shack and 200 feet up in the air. So
right.
But it's
and the only reason I'm using LMR 400 is I got it free.
That helps too.
Yeah,
that helps too.
I wouldn't have it out there if I didn't have it free. I had some satellite systems put in at work, and that is the coax they ran on these satellite systems. And when you put the satellite system in, they send you about a 500-foot spool of it. They charge you for it, and you only use about 50 feet of it. And
right.
And then you're stuck with the rest of it. Mm-hmm. So anyway, there's all kinds of antennas out there that you can use. But if you want something that's simple, that can work all bands, and it's really easy to use, I would suggest just getting you a auto tuner that you can put out at the antenna. Not a tuner that you got inside here at the shack, but one you can put out at the antenna. Run you some coax out to it, run you 75 feet of RG8X out there or something, and connect it right there. And you can put a vertical piece of wire on it, a horizontal piece, a sloping piece on it, a loop on it. Hey, you can attach it to a car frame, use the car for the antenna. You can attach it to a screen door. You can attach it to box springs and a bed. You can attach it to window screens. You can attach it to everything, and it will tune up, and I guarantee you it will do you a pretty good job. Now, since you don't have, an 80-foot tower and a tri-band beam up here to compare it with, you're not going to know the difference. I'll just put it that way.
Well, let's get real. There are people making QSOs with light bulbs.
Yep.
Well, and I mean, I'll be the first to admit, I'm a snob. Every run of coax I've got is LMR 400.
Yeah.
Just because. But realistically, come on, back Tom, when you and I got our novices, we used RG58, which everybody sneers at today, and we were happy to get it. And we made our QSOs just fine.
Well, Glenn, I think when I was a novice back in the early 60s, I actually acquired some RG8U, some of the old stuff, the RG8U, RG8. And it was probably already 30 years old when I got it. So let's see, that would have been probably made about 1930. It probably came from the war, somewhere. But and I can remember, man, when it would rain, I didn't have it. Being a novice, you don't know these things. I didn't have it waterproofed out there. I had the center conductor and that shield split and hooked to the dipole, and water was coming through the coax and out in the shack. Out the coax connector there in the shack, just like a pipe, man. Anyway, we all learned, but look, hey, a lot of the new hams, they have trouble. And hey, I had some great parents. They bought me some rigs back when I got my license. A lot of people have a paper route, don't have any money to get a radio with, but a lot of the new people I'm seeing right now, the first thing they buy is $30 radio, and then they buy, they take the rubber ducky off of it, and they buy one of these 34-inch antennas that goes on a little, 3-inch radio, and I don't know, we didn't have that kind of stuff back when I was a ham and growing up, So.
No, I mean, my rig was the HW16 that a friend gave to me. The coax, God knows where the coax came from, but it was used RG58. The beam was a homebrew 2-meter beam 2-element beam for 15 meters. That's all I had. I couldn't work any other band. I didn't know what 40 meters was.
Well, but I was referring to like 2 meters and 440. I mean, we didn't. Nobody had 2 meters. We didn't even
I
know what
used
it.
RG58 on my 2 meters.
Yeah. Back, by the 70s, we were starting to get into 2 meters and stuff. But
We
hey,
didn't-
back in the early 60s,
you know-
man, and especially where I lived, there was no repeaters. There was
No,
nobody
back
to
then
talk
we
to.
thought, hey, it's coax. It's good from DC to light. We're fine.
And your
We didn't
radio,
learn
the
about loss
radio,
until later, so it really wasn't there until later.
the radio that was available at that time was the.
I mean, let's face it,
Heathkit.
coax loss wasn't invented until
was
like
the Heathkit,
1999.
Yeah, the Heathkit lunchbox was probably the radio back in the early 60s, and you put a crystal in it, and it was AM, and that was your 2 meters, man. And I never had one because there wouldn't have been anybody to talk to. I'm going to run this video. I'm going to show you just a portable operation that I do when I go over to North Carolina, and it's fun, and it's real easy to set up. So I'm going to bring it up here. I'll try to fast forward through parts of it, and that way we won't have to watch the whole thing. Hey guys, this is Tom, W5KUB. Well, we made it to North Carolina. It was about a 10-hour drive from our home in Collierville, Tennessee. But we made it, and Ed and I made it in last night, and this is what it looks like. We're kind of in a valley, but, well, we got mountain behind us too, but I'm going to do some ATF operating from here. And what I'm going to do is, you see this tree right in front of us here, that tall tree right there. I'm going to shoot a line over the top of that tree in a little while with my pneumatic antenna launcher. So we're going to go over that in just a few minutes, and we'll show you that. Let me walk around to the front yard here. The leaves are starting to drop. They're not too colorful right now. It's been a strange fall, so we don't have the color here that we usually get. The trees are, it's late October, and the trees are just starting to change color a little bit, but they're already dropping off. There's some of Kathy's relatives down here. Several of the homes you see in the distance are her cousins and aunts and uncles, and so that's going to be our next project. Just a few minutes, we'll get the launcher out and see if we can't go. Here with my buddy Ed Harrison. Been knowing Ed a long time, and Ed used to make potato guns, potato cannons, and that's where you put the hairspray or the WD-40 in the tube, and you light it, and it blows it blows a potato, about a half a mile, and then it also blows your fingers off sometimes. But anyway, so Ed's here, and look, what we're fixing to do is we're going to put some air in this thing. So let me see if I can switch cameras. Well, I don't know if I can switch antenna launcher. How we're going to get our string or our rope over the tree. And first of all, you need to make you some little bullets like this. 3/4 inch PVC with caps on it and an eye on the end. Put your line on. All right, and here's our gun right here. If you want to take a look at that, Kathy will try to pan around and show you the gun. It's just an air tank here, basically, a valve and a barrel. We're going to take the bullet. We're going to take the bullet, and we're just going to put it in the end here. And we found that it needs to go down pretty deep in there to. Needs to go down pretty good. Okay, so I've got it down. I've got it down about that far. That should be good. Our first launch today, we had it only at the top, and it didn't go very far. So now we've got a portable air compressor here, hooked onto our valve here, running it on that little 12-volt battery. We'll be put about 50 pounds in there. All right. Got about actually got about 55 pounds of air pressure in there. The pipe is rated, I think, for, let's see what the Schedule 40 is rated for. Big pipe here. Schedule 40 is rated at 280 pounds per square inch. You should never put that in there. Up there, it's about 60 or 80 feet in the air. All right, so let's focus on this. One thing to remember, always release your reel. Let's release. We're going to aim it, open the valve, and it's going to be gone. I doubt you're going to see it, but we're going to look up over the tree. Here, I'll count down 3, 2, 1, and fire, and you might see it. 3, 2, 1, fire. All right. Like you did a pretty good job there. Put you a lead weight on there. Put that on your arm. And it's pretty accurate too. You can aim very accurately with a slingshot and shoot that lead weight, and it go out and then reel it back. That's alternate. Your own. Okay, so hey, take my piece of wire. Already tangling up. Take a piece of wire. Yeah. You don't need an insulator. A nylon cord is an insulator. Tie you a loop in the wire like this. Tie your string into the end of that wire loop right there. That. Tie a couple times. Now we're going to pull the string up. There you go. You get a good close up of that head. You got your loop, and you got your string, and it. So we're going to leave it like. Yeah. I'm just going to tie it off. Can do. You can go up over that limb and then you can go horizontal for 30. Got both. But we're gonna just keep it right here for now. All right. Is out. From the point we're going to put our antenna analyzer, antenna tuner. Here. Run one this way. I'm going to run another radio. I'll stretch it out. Radio, but we got 3 down. This is kind of like a ground plane on a ground plane antenna. We're going to have three elements, 3 radios. I'll let you hold that right there. Megahertz. It's only a 100-watt tuner, but you only need an 8-foot piece of wire or a whip, and it'll tune 80 meters through 6 meters with just an 8-foot piece of wire, and you can talk around the world on it. We put up about 70 feet of wire, but it doesn't make a difference. I mean, I think the more wire we can get out, the better it is. Guys, this tuner will tune a gutter. If you got rain gutters, you put this on your rain gutter, you'll talk around the world. I talked one time on my El Camino. I hooked this to the bumper of my El Camino in the backyard, made a contact in Washington State. I said, your mobile sounded good. And I said, you don't understand. I'm not running mobile. I'm running the El Camino as the antenna. Because after all, it's insulated, it's got tires on it. I was using the body of the car as the antenna. Like this. So we're going to hook this up. Our vertical hook's here. Our ground system, our 3 radios are going to hook here. We hook our coax on the end here and power it with 12. We're just going to wheels on here and tighten them down. we've got our cables already here. One to power the antenna tuner and the coax. That's all we need to be all band operation. Okay, guys, we're all set up here. This is our ham shack for this weekend. We got a pretty good area to expand if we want to. So we're all hooked up here. I've got my. Show you how this antenna works. Antenna tuner works. Let me pick a frequency on 40. On 40, that's kind of clear. If I can find a clear frequency. All right, that sounds pretty clear right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit it FSK. I didn't bring a key to key down, but I'm just going to put it on FSK, and that way if I key the mic. Now watch the SWR meter right here. Right here. All right, I'm going to key it. Watch the SWR meter. Well, you saw it went full scale, and then instantly it went back to almost a 1-to-1. So the SWR is showing 1-to-1. So let's do this. Let's go up to 20 meters. Let's just find a spot. Oh, that's pretty quiet there. We're going to tune up here. Watch the SWR meter here, and watch how quickly it tunes. All I do is put a little power to the antenna. Watch how quickly it tunes. Here we go. All right. It started off high, it's tuning, and it stabilized at 1 bar, at 1-to-1. Okay, let's tune up, let's go to 18 megahertz. Let's tune up right about there. Nobody's there, so again, I'm just going to tune up with the FSK, just to get a little output. I'm going to key the mic, watch the SWR meter here. You'll see it come up kind of full scale, and then very quickly it will ratchet itself down to 1-to-1. Now here we go. I'm gonna key up. All right, we got some SWR. It's tuning, and it is tuned, and you see there's a full 100 watts output. That's how quick it tunes. Let's go to 15 meters. That sounds pretty quiet. We're gonna tune up here. Well, it tuned almost instantly. There's, what is that? That's 12 meters. Let's try to tune up on 12 meters. Here we go. All right, we got a little SWR, and there it is. It brought it down to 1-to-1 and 100 watts. Let's go to 80 meters. Let's go to 10 meters, just somewhere in there. Again, we're going to try. We're going to key up in FSK. Here we go. Well, it tuned very quickly. Here. So that's how quickly this antenna tuner will tune anything. Very quickly. It's all band. I don't care if you're at the. So it tunes that wire.
Kilo Papa 2 Mike, Kilo Papa 2 Mexico, contest. Kilo Papa 2 Mike. 65 test, Victor Echo 5, Papa Victor. U4 Yankee 5, Kilo Echo. Florida Yankee 5, Kilowatt Echo, contest. Foxtrot Yankee 5, Kilo Echo, Fox Yankee 5, Kilowatt Echo, contest. Pico contest, November 1, Mike, November 1, Mike. Pico contest, Hotel Kilo 1 Tango, contest. Hotel Kilo 1 Tango, contest. Foxtrot Mark 5, Foxtrot Juliet, contest. Foxtrot Mark 5, Foxtrot Juliet, contest.
Context. Whiskey, Papa Fair, Oscar, November, Japan, contact, QRZ.
WZ5X, W5, WZ5X, W5 KUB. Copy, Bill?
Yeah, I copy you now, Tom. I was tuning around there. William had 7.139.
Okay, so you can see I had a lot of ham radio fun there. That antenna just works great, and it's so easy to use. I love the auto tuner out at the antenna. What do you think, Jason?
I've never used one at the antenna before, but I've read about it, and I'd be interested to try it. But yeah, it looked like it worked great for you in that situation.
Yeah. Well, by putting it out the antenna, so you're not tuning the coax, you're not tuning the feed line going out to it. So you're tuning out there at the antenna, and it tunes it for 50 ohm. It matches that coax all the way back to your rig, and everything just falls just right in place, man. It just works great, and it's so easy. As I mentioned, you could clip that auto tuner to a gutter on your house. You could clip it to anything, and it'll tune it, man. It'll tune it. So I'm just my suggestion. I made it to several people here locally, and they bought those, and they really love it. They were asking me, what kind of antenna should I get? Well, do you want an all-band antenna? There's trade-offs to everything out there, and you can spend a lot of money on antennas, or you can spend less on antennas. You can get some multi-band antennas that but this seems to do it all, man.
Yeah, Tom, they're asking the manufacturer and model of that tuner.
Yeah, that's an SCG, or is it SGC? I forget which one it is. Let's see. That I can find it here. Look up there it is, SG. Look up SG237. Let's see, let me put it on here. SG237, right there. And you can see you can have a radiating element as short as, if you want to work on, let's see, if you want to work 80 through, I'm trying to read this. I think 8 foot, you need an 8 foot piece of wire, and that will work 80 through 6 meters. If you want to work 160, you need a little bit longer wire than 8 foot. I think for 160, you need maybe 23 feet or something like that. I'm not sure. It's hard for me to read that on the screen here. And it is waterproof. This is very highly waterproof, and it just does an outstanding job. And I've had this maybe for 10 years or longer, and it's just, hey, when I try to run mobile, you can run mobile, and you can put a big bug catcher on your truck, and the big coil and all that stuff out in the wind, and it looks crazy. Or you could just put a steel whip on there on your truck, and you can put this tuner there in the back of your truck, right there at the base of the, like a CB whip. Put this tuner right there. And it, from inside the truck, it will instantly tune 80, 40, 20, 15, 10. You don't have to get out. You don't have to change the coil. You don't have to do anything. You just hit it with a little power for about, 1 second, and it will tune it down. And, man, you can just change bands as you're driving. So I used it mobile for a while. I use it when I go operating portable. And it's just a great antenna. And I'd recommend anybody that's just wanting something to work all bands, try an auto tuner. It doesn't have to be this brand. MFJ makes an auto tuner. LDG makes a great auto tuner. But get one that goes outside and not inside the shack. All right. Well, so that's the way I'll be operating here in a couple of weeks. When we go over to North Carolina, I'll be operating with that same way there. And the pneumatic gun, it does a great job shooting that line over. Depending on how much air you put in there, I can easily put that projectile over a 200-foot tree. It's fairly accurate, but the slingshot is also really, really accurate too. get you a good heavy nut and a fishing line on there, and a slingshot is pretty accurate to go over a tree limb. All right. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. Let's see. We'll be back in just a minute. Let me check the chat room here real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Do they make a 1500 watt version? I don't know if SCG makes a 1500 watt version. I have an MFJ 1500 watt auto tuner outside, a remote tuner. I wanted a 1500 watt tuner because I have an amplifier here, and at home I do run power, and if you want to do that, you're going to need to have 1500 watt tuner, and they're expensive. Expect to pay upwards to $700 for a 1500 watt tuner. I think this one comes in around $200 or something like that. You can find these on eBay and other places. You might find one that's a good deal there. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I've had great luck with my MFJ 1500 watt tuner. I've got it out there feeding. As I mentioned, I've got 130 feet of the LMR 400 underground, and it goes out to my antenna farm. And at my antenna farm, it branches off, and I have multiple antennas out there. So I've got the 1500 watt tuner out there, and then I use open line or ladder line. It goes up another 90 feet, and it hits a 40 meter extended double ZEP. And that 40 meter extended double ZEP is two 5/8 wavelengths, 5/8 wavelength on each side, 172 feet long. It's a great antenna. I think it's the only wire antenna that actually has gain to it. But it will tune all the other bands too. But I've got it built particularly for 40 meters. Okay, Brett's saying it used SG237 going from 150 to $200. It's well worth it there. Yeah. Okay, let's do this, and then we'll come right back in just a minute. Spice up your ham shack with ICOM's IC705. This portable radio is perfect for staying in or venturing out and working your favorite bands this winter. Happy holidays from ICOM. The IC705 is a perfect sidekick and QRP companion, base station, features, and functionality at the tip of your fingers in a portable package covering HF 6 meters, 2 meters, 70 centimeters. This compact rig weighs in at just over 2 pounds with RF direct sampling for most of the HF bands and IF sampling for frequencies above 25 megahertz. Some of the features include 4.3-inch touchscreen with live band scope and waterfall, sideband CW, AM, FM, as well as full D-Star functions. Has a micro USB connector, Bluetooth, and WLAN. Integrated GPS with antenna and GPS logger. The HM243 speaker microphone comes standard. The perfect accessory for the IC705 is the optional LC192 backpack. It has a special compartment for your IC705 and room for all your accessories. Our family of favorite ICOM amateur radios are also available this holiday season, and they make the perfect gift. Don't forget the 9700, the 9300, and the 7610 base stations, and the ID52A handheld coming soon. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.
LDG Electronics provides state-of-the-art antenna tuners for every amateur need. From QRP to QRO, fixed stations, portable and remote, an LDG tuner will match your radio to your antenna using our lightning-fast, proprietary tuning algorithms. LDG is a family-owned and operated company dedicated to bringing innovative, quality products to the amateur market. All LDG products carry a full 2-year warranty that is fully transferable. Support is only a phone call or email away. We're always here to help you. Visit us on the web at ldgelectronics.com.
All right, and we are back. And we've been talking about simple ways to get an antenna up for all bands. And I just showed you one. And that video is out on our YouTube channel. If you want to look at it again at any time, just search for, under W5KUB, just search for W5KUB portable operation, and you'll find it there. Hey, just want to remind everybody that Raisa will be back with us next week. She's going to be with us every 2 weeks. It's pretty late in Russia right now. In St. Petersburg, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. So we don't want to get her up out of bed and cut into her schedule. She's a very busy person. She is very famous on that side of the world over there, and even pretty famous on this side for a YL that does a lot of fun things in ham radio, and she's joined us, and she'll be with us every couple weeks. So tune in next week to see what she's going to show us next week, one of her adventures. I think you'll like to see it. If you're out there on listening on shortwave, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com. We'd love to hear from you. We'll get you a QSL card from the shortwave station. When the show was on shortwave last week, I actually picked some remote SDR receivers, and I tuned around to listen for it. And I heard the show pretty clear in Iceland, and I could hear it all the way out toward the west coast here. I think I heard it somewhere down in Central America. Wasn't great, but we're not real high power on shortwave. We're only running 50,000 watts on 7490. So, but it does get out, and it does give us an audience out there on shortwave. So, we're inviting you to join us on Tuesday nights. This show is called Amateur Radio Roundtable, and it's a show about ham radio, and you can actually join us in video and chat room every Tuesday night. You can simply find us at w5kub.com, or you can do a search on YouTube for W5KUB. All right, let's see, boy. Hey, we were talking about some simple antennas. I want to show you a real simple antenna. And my friend Larry, WD0AKX, Larry Shantz, did this video. And he does a lot of videos on his channel. You might try to tune in. I think it's called The Ham Radio Guy. But I'm going to play this for you. And I want you to look. When a band's open, it doesn't take much antenna. So I'm going to pull up this. This is a real short video here. And this is DX with a short antenna. And I want you to see how short this antenna is and how well it's working.
Hi, Larry, WD0AKX. First of all, I want to thank all of you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And it's all about having fun with ham radio. So today, I visited another good ham radio friend of mine. He was doing some experimenting with an antenna, and I have to show you this. This goes to show you don't need a massive antenna to work DX. So if you have limited space, check this video out. I know you'll enjoy it. Let's take a look.
Germany. Look at Juliet 7 Echo Oscar. Marcus in Germany. I work in Germany. It's 10 over. Should be able to work them pretty easy. Norway X-ray 0 Papa.
All right.
Hey, thanks. You're 5'9" into Minnesota. The name is Roger. And your number is 006. Over. Nice.
Okay, that was Germany, right?
Germany. On that little antenna. That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's amazing.
Okay, call is NX0P. Name is Junior. And we just worked Germany on this here antenna. This is a ham stick, 20-meter ham stick. Just threw it on a little 10-inch piece of metal and run some ground radios out, mount it on top of the deck, and making some good contacts tonight. Having a good time.
Fun little experiment. Just can't believe this little antenna, and we're working all this DX. We are operating on the 20-meter ham radio band right now, late in the afternoon here in Minnesota.
Norway X-ray 0 Papa. There you go. Roger, Roger on the 472. The name here is Roger. You're 59 Minnesota, Mike November. And please copy 007. Over. 73's good luck. Good contact. All right. Well, that was a good one. Just worked Azores. Charlie Uniform 4 Delta X-ray. He is 5'9". Big signal over here into Minnesota.
That's great. While Junior does have some excellent antennas run into the ham shack, today we were just experimenting with this. Here's the antenna we're using, right?
Crazy, isn't it? It's a little, 3 foot long?
On it on the deck.
10 feet off the ground.
How do you hook this up?
0P? Norway. 0 Papa. Okay, well, this is my son's radio. He just picked it up today, and he had to leave. So what am I doing? I'm out on the deck playing with it. Brand new Kenwood TS590. Just loving it. We're making some good contacts out here. Another country we can grab here.
All right, I just wanted to show you guys. Hey, that antenna was about 3 foot tall, and look how it was working, man. You know, oh man, the bands were good that day, and when the band's open, it didn't take much to make a contact. All right, Glenn, you got anything else you want to talk about tonight? Anything going on with you? Any Hamfest or anything coming up that you're going to be attending or anything?
Yeah, looks like gearing up for January. I don't have anything for December unless something just crops up. But January, I'm going up to Collinsville, Indiana, I guess, or Illinois. It's right across the river from St. Louis. Going to be doing an Arduino forum there. And then, of course, we've got the Jackson, Mississippi Hamfest the following week. And then gearing up for Orlando. I'm going to be doing a forum down there this year as well. So, finally nice to, as we were talking earlier, it's going to be nice to get back on the road and start to get to Hamfest and stuff again.
I don't think we're going to make Orlando this year. It's a long ways down here, for us. Pretty expensive trip too.
Yeah.
But you can represent us.
I actually lived in Orlando for a little while and grew up in Miami, so it's pretty much my backyard.
Well, hey, let's pull Jason in here real quick. Hey, we'll probably open the Zoom here to anybody who wants to join us here in just a couple of minutes and have our viewers participate here. But let's just jump over to Jason. Jason, man, surely you've been busy with something with ham radio lately, man. What have you been doing? Anything?
I've been. I guess my most busy thing right now has been Parks in the Air. Been doing a lot of Parks in the Air.
Yeah.
Tried a couple of activations from Hawaii when I was there last week. Did not get that to work. I think I have a problem with my radio. I got to put my radio on the bench and see what the deal is with that. But Costa Rica was fun. Made a lot of good QSOs down there. I'm gonna be going to Orlando in February. I probably won't have any Hamfest to go to between now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just trying to keep on top of all the new equipment coming out and getting as much information as I can to share with my audience. So but that's what I've been doing. So, but Parks on the Air has been my most. That's where I've spent most of my time over the last few months.
I've never done a Parks on the Air, but hey, I'm hearing there's this Walmart parking lots on the air. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I think there was an Instagram or a Twitter thing I don't know if it started out as a joke or if it was real, and then they did it more than once, I think. So I've heard of it. I don't know exactly what it entails, and I don't know if it was I don't know if it's an ongoing thing or not, so I'm not sure. But I have heard of it. I just recognize the name. That's about it.
Yeah, well, that'd be a cool deal. Walmart on the air. I might get out. Yeah. I could do 5 or 6 or 7 of them here in the Memphis area.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we're so glad to have you with us tonight, man.
Thanks.
You're gonna have to start coming back more. I know you're busy with your own channel, your Ham Radio 2.0. What is it? Yeah, Ham Radio 2.0 video or you? What's it called?
Just Ham Radio 2.0 on YouTube. On Facebook, it's called Ham Radio 2.0 video series. But
okay.
Yeah.
Now there is another Ham Radio 2.0 though out there.
Yeah. On Facebook there is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just
right.
It's just a community of people that talk about ham radio stuff. It's not a video series.
So everybody get out there and check out Jason's YouTube channel and his Facebook group and all that kind of good stuff. Hey, I'm going to open a chat room up. I mean, not the chat room. I'm going to open up Zoom for anybody who wants to join us.
All right.
All I got to do is paste this in. We should be good to go. Copy.
I do probably need to drop though, Tom.
Okay. All right. That's fine, man. Well, hey, we're just so glad to have you tonight, man.
Yeah. Thanks for the invite. This was fun. It's been too long. So yeah, let's, I definitely like to follow back up with you soon. And,
let's do that.
Come and talk about some new stuff upcoming.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, good night, man. And again,
man.
I appreciate you joining, being with us tonight. All right.
Thanks, Glenn.
Yeah. We just posted the link, the Zoom link, and we've got somebody already. We've got Jonathan. Jonathan's in there. Hello. Well, let me give him a second. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, there's that delay as you sign in.
All right, Glenn, I just made you a co-host so you can help prove people if we start getting a bunch of people coming in. So we've got Jonathan here. How you doing, Jonathan? I'm not hearing you.
I don't see him talking yet.
I can barely.
He's listening to the other feed.
Oh, hey, Jonathan, you're going to have to turn down the video feed. Or we'll get feedback here, and it's going to be delayed. So you need to use the Zoom audio and turn down the video feed.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'll be about 30 seconds behind.
That's right, man. That's right. You'll be a long ways behind us here. I'm surprised that Charlie hadn't popped in here yet. Charlie is normally in here, one of the first ones. Charlie down in Uruguay. Where are you, Charlie? We're looking for you.
Yeah, he's in the chat room.
I know he is. He must have went off to get a cup of coffee or something. Jonathan, are you there now, yet? Don't hear him. Okay.
You have to wait about 30 seconds for his reply.
Well.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonathan, I think if you're listening on the video broadcast, you're listening at the wrong place. You need to mute that or turn it down, and your audio should be coming through Zoom, and it will be real time. The video is going to be about a 30-second delay. There's Charlie. And there's Charlie.
Yeah, he's in Kentucky tonight.
Is Charlie there? Hello. Hola, Charlie. ¿Cómo está?
Hello. Yes, here I am.
There he is. There he is. Hello. Hola, Charlie.
Hello.
What's happening there? What's happening? You having a fight with somebody?
Wait, that's my problem.
Oh man, what are you building? What is that? What is that, Charlie?
I see an LED and I see a chip.
That's an awful lot of electronics just for a LED flasher. I don't know what happened to Charlie. Of course, he's muted right now. Okay. Well, guys,
I ran to get some.
Okay. Well, wait.
He ran to get some tape to stick up the camera.
Okay. Let me post again, and maybe we'll have a few more people join us here.
Okay, do you listen?
There he is.
Can you
There he
listen?
is.
Oh, okay.
What do you got? What is that,
That
Charlie?
looks like a Geiger counter.
Exactly. This is a Geiger counter. Yes. Sorry, I'm on another computer. My laptop
Okay.
just died. Last week I had a job, something for work, and I couldn't attend. I don't even remember what I was doing last week, but I couldn't. I arrived home very late and couldn't come. Couldn't join the chat here.
Yeah.
But this is a Geiger counter. I was playing with this. I've just finished building it. It's one of these Mighty Ohm kits that you can get from his site, or from Amazon, or from.
Yeah. So do you have a radiation problem?
Yeah. Well, here is no, that's the other way around. Let me see.
Yeah. So do you have a lot of radiation where you live?
You know, I've just finished this. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Nothing
What?
is radioactive.
Disappointed that you don't have radiation?
Nothing is
Wait a minute.
not even the bananas on the.
No, you're not going to turn into Spider-Man that way.
Exactly.
It's got to be a spider that bites you.
Man,
Nothing is radioactive.
I don't know what's going on, but who screens that? Is that yours,
I
Charlie?
don't know. That's very interesting.
I think that was maybe. Was that Bill?
That was my screen.
Oh, that was yours. Okay. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing, man?
Some sort of programming, yes.
I'm pretty good.
Okay. Well, I'm here. I'm hearing you now. Where are you located?
Nashville.
Nashville. Okay. All right. Well, very good, man.
Tell us about the code on the screen.
Okay, so let me share this again. Hold up.
Now we're not getting your picture now, so obviously your camera's not on, but that's okay.
Hold on. I was gonna share my screen again. Yeah. So I've been working on this control program to control a FT891. And the whole reason behind it is because FLDigi doesn't actually control everything there is with the radio. And I've been writing this in a cross-platform UI library, so it'll run on a Raspberry Pi or an Android device or whatnot, you know. And yeah, if I come over here and launch this bad boy, I'll show y'all what all it can do. It's not pretty, and it's kind of cobbled together.
Well, you have completely lost me. Maybe Glenn knows what you're doing there.
I was trying to figure out what the language was.
C++.
C++. Okay. Your Jonathan, your audio is. I don't know if Glenn is hearing this, but your audio is real bassy. It's real hard for me to understand.
Yeah, I'm hearing it the same way here.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah. So I don't know what kind of mic is it? An internal mic, maybe in a laptop, or you have an external
a
mic?
mic that's in the camera.
Oh, mic in the camera. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably one.
Really difficult to understand. And I mean, with it coming through, I don't think there's any adjustments that you can make for it. Actually,
Not
in
really.
Zoom.
Yeah. There may be in the.
Where will you run that code?
I'm going to.
Now, in the properties for the webcam/mic, there may be a bass boost or something that's checked that needs to be unchecked.
Yeah. Under audio. Yeah. Charlie had a question. What was your question, Charlie?
Yeah, where would you run that code in a dedicated hardware like a Raspberry Pi or something like that?
Yeah, I use the FLTK library for the UI, and it will run and compile on a Raspberry Pi, which I've got a Pi 4 8G here that I'm and a 4G that I'm going to be using to do my photo with. And just, first time right.
So the idea is doing a remote control for the rig.
Yeah.
A remote station, for example.
Yeah, like if I go out in the field.
I don't know what's going on here. What's going on here?
I don't know. And what, Jonathan, what does this program do? What's the purpose of the program?
It talks to the FT891, and you can control like direct. You can give it direct frequency input, and it'll change the frequency of the radio.
Okay.
The RF
Yeah, so it's CAT for an 891.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
Output power, or like if you even want to like turn the brightness of the buttons on or backlight up and down, you can do it.
Yeah, what I understand is that you are controlling further commands than there usually are on other software, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So complete control of the radio.
Yeah, like even with the CW memories, like for contest memory key,
you can reprogram them from the so basically you can run the rig remotely completely.
Okay. So that's for FT8. So, hey, can that make contacts while you go to the grocery store?
no, I don't have it like remoted well, I mean, if I remoted into my machine from a remote machine and launched the application.
No, I was saying, could you just turn it on and let it work people while you're gone to work?
No, you can do that sort of with like the digital modes, but this is more for like being able to control the radio without having to touch the buttons and the knobs on the radio.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you ever seen or used the FT891,
I haven't.
changing anything with the radio is daunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got like 6 buttons and they all multitask, and it's just a royal.
Yeah, like the 857, for
Right.
example.
Yeah.
Like it's impossible. Like
And-
really.
And this app just puts all of it right there on your screen, and you can
Yeah, you have to read the little
turn them.
help guide that they sell while you're driving down the road to program it.
Man. Well, hey, when you get this thing working, see, what I want to be able to do is, I want to be able this thing to make contacts while I'm away from home, and I can come home and work DXCC without being here. You know, just it does it automatically. You know, every day I come home and I say, hey, I made 400 contacts today. You know.
You might be
Now
able to
they
do it
basically
with-
have that. It's called FT8.
Well, I don't think FT8 will do it automatically. I haven't figured that out yet. You have to
No, I don't
manually.
think it does it
No,
totally.
yeah, but there are some scripts that
are
some
there?
people have
Yeah.
written
Yeah.
that will do the contacts automatically, which is has no fun at all. Right?
No, and there's some contest bodies that have thrown out a whole bunch of contacts some contesters have made because they have claimed that they were doing it automatically. There's that too. So, I mean, if you're doing the contacts and you don't want to use them for contesting, doing it automated like that is not a good idea. But you know, this app's going to be open source. It's going to be on my GitHub, and I'll post a link to that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, great.
So, like everybody can get a hold of it, compile it, and then use it. And like I said, it'll compile straight up on the Raspberry Pi. There's no dependencies that it's got that aren't available to a Linux machine.
So it's multi-platform in a way.
Yeah.
So
and
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Jonathan, what's your call, Jonathan? Do you have a call?
KY4CT.
CT?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kilo Yankee 4 Charlie Tango.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not recalling that call. Are you new with us, or you been with us for a while, or?
I've been a ham for over 20 years.
Yeah. But I mean, on the show here, have you just recently started watching?
No, I've been watching you for a while.
Okay. I just didn't. I wasn't familiar with that call there, or whatever in the chat room. But hey, we're glad to have you, man.
At the Huntsville Ham Fest.
What was that?
Me and you talked at the Huntsville Ham Fest.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, very good.
I was hoping to share this with everybody and let everybody know about it. And
Yeah.
I'll post the link to my GitHub in the chat.
Okay. Well,
So
great. Cool, man.
Watching the icons on the desktop, you have Firefox and you have Discord. So So yes, so that's a good program.
Yeah, he's got the 2022 handbook.
I don't see it. Where?
Yeah. Yeah.
Second row down, far
Oh,
right.
yes, right, exactly.
I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff here. You know, Nano VNA, the oscilloscope I've got.
The desktop shows your profile always, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the spice. That's cool.
I do a lot of software development, FT8, grid tracker, you know, I mean.
Grid tracker.
Yep. I use it a lot with FT8. But, yeah, I've got the 22 handbook. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to do with just amateur radio in general, you know.
What's this all about?
This here is an application that I am developing, that I have written, that controls an FT891 directive.
Okay.
The tab. And the general tab here, you can power the radio on, you can turn it off, you can, you know, turn the tuner on and off, turn Vox on and off, turn the processor on and off, turn the monitor on and off, etc. You know, turn the preamp off, turn the attenuator on, the narrow, the DNR, you know, the lock on the frequency, your audio width, your band, you can change it right there. You can bump the clarifier around, and you turn the, you know, just how to, you know, everything you would want to do to the radio without having to get into the darn menu system of the radio to change it. Like turning the output power up and down, you know, or changing the brightness of your screen or your AGC settings for your fast, middle, and slow, or maybe even your PSK tone. Or you want to change your equalizer for your TX, or you want to change your you know, your CW message queue. You can go there and just type it in and good to go. And it's not complete yet. I mean, still got to do like memory channels and that kind of thing, but I've got the quick memory buttons working. You know, the changing VFO to memory frequency.
Have you seen Power SDR?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I don't use it. I do use like SDR++.
Yeah, because I've used it with my 950 and a couple other rigs, and that might have some features you might want to roll into this.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, you know, I'd probably get. I'm so sorry to say this. I'd probably get a lot more out of this if I could really understand you, but it's very muffled. The mic is very, very muffled, and maybe under your audio settings or something under Zoom, like Glenn said, maybe you can check under audio, and maybe you've got, you know, boost bass or something on. I don't know, but
yeah, it'd be under the microphone properties under the device manager.
I'm probably missing about 30% of every sentence that you say, Jonathan. So sorry. Maybe next time you'll have it working a little better. Hey,
John, wait a minute. Hey, let me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just wanted to suggest to Jonathan that he might want to go and click on the tab next to the microphone and click the bottom for audio settings. It might help him with whatever it is he's attempting to do on the audio.
Yeah. That's.
And hey, Brett, long time no see, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, let's get back over.
How are you?
Who's that?
It's Brett, WI7BG.
Yes, I haven't seen Bill since 2019 at the International.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Convention.
All right.
Yeah, he came to breakfast with us there at Shoney's there, Tom.
Oh, okay. Cool.
When we were at Hamvention.
Cool. All right. I think it's the first time you've been on Zoom with us.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Just came down from a rooftop. I've been installing these.
Oh.
This is a Ubiquity 5 gigahertz radio.
Okay. Yep. I know what it is. Yep.
And we're getting people on the internet for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I think I got a couple of those.
Audio. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5.
thought it was the Starlink receiver antenna.
All right. Jonathan, say something. You might be better now. Say something, Jonathan.
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh,
5, 4,
man.
3.
That's a hell of a lot better.
Man, that's 100% better. I can even hear you now, man.
What'd you do? Take the foam off the mic?
I switched to a headset.
Oh, okay. Hey, let's let me jump back to Charlie there. Charlie, why are you building a Geiger counter, man? You think you need one or something?
Yeah, I've always wanted one in order just to know radiation levels around me.
Hey, you know what?
Zombie apocalypse.
You know what? I was at a ham fest last month with Glenn Popiel, and if I'm not mistaken, he had a Geiger counter on the table for sale. Did you?
I did indeed.
He had a Geiger counter for sale there. What do you want for it? $5? I don't remember.
I think 10.
$10? Oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah, there was a guy at Huntsville, probably about 3 years ago, that just had cases of those, and he sold out of them before lunch on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is that now mine's on sale. I've just finished it because nothing is radioactive here. You see the little, but that's the background noise. You see that?
Yeah. Thing is, that tube needs like 90 volts or something to operate.
It has 400 volts.
400. Okay, yeah, I knew it was a high voltage.
You're getting 400 volts out of those two little batteries?
Yeah,
with a coil and
yeah. That's
doesn't
cool.
need much current, just voltage.
Yeah. That's cool.
So let me see. Yes, of course. The soldering iron fell on the plastic thing. That was the thing.
I've heard you can build one with a photodiode, and I've actually got a schematic, but I've never tried to build it. And it's not like I've got a radiation source to test with around the house.
Thing is, you buy something from eBay, and you never know what's the origin. You know, I was listening to there was a girl there that always buys, and she makes videos on YouTube about old vintage electronics, and she buys some things from Russia, old stock from Russia.
Oh yeah, the Nixie tubes and everything.
Yeah, she has a Geiger counter to see what on earth is she buying before.
Yeah, as long as it's ticking like that, you're fine. If it starts ticking real fast,
run.
Yeah,
very close.
Running's not going to help a whole lot. Yeah.
If it starts clicking very fast, get the heck out of the house.
Get under the house.
Yeah.
Even my Russian Nixie tubes are really quiet. Yeah, not even the Nixie.
Well, I don't think Nixies do the gamma radiation that the tube is looking for.
No, but they cannot. But I wanted to know if they've been exposed to radioactive dust or something.
Oh, maybe they came from Chernobyl or whatever that place is.
Yeah, exactly. You never know where they come from. That's the point.
Yeah.
I have an old watch with a radium dial, and it really off Geiger counters.
Well, I mean, if you remember growing up, we all had those radium watches that glowed in the dark.
Yeah.
And it was like uranium glass.
Yeah.
Smoke alarm should also be radioactive.
Yeah.
One of the things is this girl was given as a present a very old clock radio, a tube one, and the needles on the face of the clock, they were so radioactive that you couldn't believe. It's like she picked up the radio and
yeah.
She said,
yeah, we didn't know better back then. It glowed in the dark. It was cool.
It was really cool, glowing in the dark.
Look, I got one of those cool Timexes. It glows in the dark, and when I take it off, my hand glows in the dark.
Exactly. And now in the same package, it came this from QRP Labs, this new transceiver they have, which I have to build all these really small toroid
Oh boy, that looks like one of the
But-
Kanga kits.
Fortunately, all the surface mount stuff comes on the board. It's the first time I'm opening this. Let's
Now, which
see.
which one is it? What is it?
Well, this is the newest one, which is designed for digital mode. It only works for digital mode. So
Okay.
it has a USB port. You plug it into the computer, and it presents itself as a sound card. And you use FT8, the WJ8. What's the name of the software? And you use it as the rig. And this is the rig, and it's the thing is that it's all designed around using digital modes and not voice. So it's something that the output amplifier, it's designed around that. So I haven't read much about it, but it's designed around digital modes. So I will be using it for digital modes. You put, I think it's something like 5 watt output or something like
That's
that.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and this is the size. I also have the case. Yes, here's the case. I have to assemble the case. So I have this little thing working digital mode, and that's it.
Very cool.
And maybe I put a Raspberry Pi on top. That's the second part of the project. And there it is.
Hey, while we take a break here, I want to say hello to Colin down in VK land there. Hello there, sir. Wish you had a better light. I mean, it looks like it's 30 Celsius down there, sir.
Yeah, well, it's around 25 centigrade right now. That looks like a bit of a storm coming from the west. And I'm actually outside, so...
We
that
had
could be the-
35 on Sunday here. That would be 90.
We had 35 here, but it's a different 35. Ours
Yes.
starts with an F, not a C.
Yeah,
this one's a C.
Yes,
That's his converter right there. Yeah.
like this, we have the other.
Yeah. Now, it actually got down to freezing here this morning.
No, I've never even seen snow, ever.
No, never. Here either. We don't see any snow. We had hail yesterday, but very little.
We only get, maybe 1 or 2 days of snow a year, not a whole lot.
There's never been any within a few hundred kilometres of here.
See, this is really small, eh?
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
Lord.
Yeah.
Well, we have a negative 3 Celsius here at the present time. And tomorrow it's going to be 6 Celsius and going to go down to 2 Celsius. And I don't know, Thanksgiving's going to be 11 Celsius. Gee,
That's
a warm up.
Thank you.
It's supposed to be summer. Well, almost summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Hey, guys, is there a way to turn the chat off where it doesn't come up on the video screen? The chatting that the guys are doing is covering up the video here. Is there a way to just make the chat go from person to person instead of everybody here?
Yeah, there is a selection there to whatever person you want to talk to.
I'm trying to figure out how to turn it off or make it where, it doesn't interfere with the show here. The side conversation we got going on in the chat's covering up the video. Let's see. I'm not sure.
You got me.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, let me do that right there. All right.
Yes, the settings, you can change the settings dialog so they don't pop up.
Well, I didn't have that option. I just turned it off, but Did that turn it off on just me, or did that turn it off on everybody?
Everybody.
Okay. I've never had to do this on.
Well, it says chat's disabled, so you shut it off to everybody.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna, let's see.
Yeah.
We can chat with host. Let's see. No one. They can chat with the host, everyone, or everyone and anyone directly.
Yeah.
How about directly?
If you go into the settings dialog and you select chat, there's a way to turn off the notifications, and you can see that on the, well, should be able to see that in the settings.
Well, I'm looking for it. All right. Well, until we figure it out, maybe you guys just
push. It says push notifications, and you can tell it just.
All right. Where do I find it, Brent?
Okay. If you open the settings dialog.
Settings dialog under what? Do I click on
left-hand column? Select chat.
On chat. Okay, that's where I was. Let's see.
And then you'll see push notifications, and you can say you don't want to see any, or you want to see all, or only private ones.
Right. Are you seeing my screen right now?
Yes.
Part of it.
You see my screen? Okay. I'm under chat, and where am I going here? Who can see your message? No.
Let's see if I can get to.
Participants can chat with.
Yeah, if you. Okay, the easiest way to get to it is select. If you go down to the bottom of the screen and you select the select anything, either the audio or video, and it'll say audio settings or video settings. But then you can select the chat settings instead.
Well, wait a minute. Mine are up at the top. Mine are. Let's see. Well, keep on trying to close. I'm having trouble finding more. Let's see, more. Participants chat. There's chat. Well. All right, I'm just not getting there. When I go to that, you're seeing what I'm getting, right? You're seeing.
It's not the right thing.
All right.
That's the moderator's menu. That's.
Yep. Well,
try under more and see if you can find, or either that or click the little caret next to stop video. Click the caret. Don't click stop.
Next to stop video, right here.
Yeah,
right
little
here.
caret. It'll pop up.
Yep.
There. What you can do is you can select video settings right there.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, select that, and then you can go up to chat instead in the left-hand column.
Yeah,
See?
there it is. There it is.
Now you got it. So now you can tell it not to show you push notifications, which is what you were seeing. Go farther down.
Do I need to select something?
No, you need to. You need to tell it not to give you the push notifications from the chat channel, and then they won't pop up.
Okay. Do you know where they are?
Where it says, yeah, you just passed it. Okay.
Oh, did I pass it? Okay.
Down a little bit. There it is. See where it says all, and then only private,
right
and then
here,
nothing?
yeah.
Click nothing. Nothing.
Okay. All right. That's going to do it, huh?
Now, if I send a message to everyone, I'm going to do a test here. It doesn't pop up on your screen anymore, but it comes out in the chat. In the chat.
No, I'm still getting it on screen. See right here.
Oops, it did. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe there's something else you got to deselect too.
I mean, I don't know. Oh well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out for next week. All right. Do we got anybody new in here? Let's see. Anybody else join us? Let's see. We got Colin down here. We got.
Oh, you got Dennis over there.
Dennis in here.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. How you doing, Dennis?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man.
Well, you thought you could just sneak in and lurk over in a corner?
Sure, I do that. I do that with the guys at what is it, Atco? What are those guys over there in?
I don't know. What
in Ohio.
What is that? What's that hanging up back here? Am I looking at disc or is that a reel-to-reel? What am I looking at back here? That's a reel-to-reel, man.
Yeah, that's an Akai.
It's a real TX.
Yeah,
that's an Akai. I have a collection of them. This
Now,
is
when
just
did
one
you
of
tell me when you picked that up? I want to know when you bought that.
them. Oh, shoot. 25 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought it off of a serviceman who didn't have a use for it anymore.
You know, I bought a reel-to-reel in overseas in 1970. Boy, that was 50 years ago. I finally got rid of it. I didn't have a lot of use for it. But...
Well, I've got tapes from the 70s, newscasts.
Yeah.
And they sound just as good as they did when I recorded them.
Yeah.
So, and I've actually put them on DVD. I put the audio on DVD, and I really can't share them because of copyright limitations, but some of the newscasts I share, which blows people away.
Okay.
Are they mono or stereo?
Everything's stereo, FM stereo.
Yeah.
Staggered or simultaneous. You know, they had so many different kinds of tapes back then.
Oh, these are four-track stereo is what these are. 2 channels in each direction, and then I've got 3 quad reel-to-reels made by Akai as well, and then I've got a TX, I've got an Hitachi, Sony, and then I've got my portable collection of reel-to-reels. So I collect a lot of reel-to-reels, and I restore them.
Wow.
But I just do them for myself.
Yeah. Well, it's a cool looking deck back here. I like it.
I want to pull it down, and I want to put up one of my 16 millimeter projectors and freak everybody out. You know.
Yeah.
Because right now there's a net on the West Coast started at 7:30 Pacific about 15 minutes ago called the Amateur Television ATN network.
Yeah.
And I'm missing that right now, but I'll check into them in just a few minutes on Zoom as well. But yeah, this is the first time I caught you guys, and thought it was interesting. I thought I'd jump in.
Yeah. Well, you know, I need to talk to those guys out there on ATN. They need to put our show on it.
Well, their net doesn't start until, like I said, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So, and then he's doing his roll call right now between California, Arizona, and Nevada, and he's got a couple stations back east as well in Florida. Yeah, he's got a couple stations somewhere back east, but yeah, we zoom in from everywhere. On Saturdays I used to check in with these hams in the United Kingdom, and one of the main guys died. Or I'm sorry, he didn't die. He lost his memory for no reason at all.
Really?
He didn't have a stroke, but he doesn't even know what ham radio is right now. And he was the leader of the group, so that group has kind of fell apart. But every Saturday I used to check in with those guys on VC, which is another conferencing software, and they were really cool because we'd share news stories, because the media, everybody knows media lies through their teeth.
Yeah.
Whether it's Channel 4 in the UK or whether it's the networks here in America. So we were all listening to basically Sky News in Australia to get the real news in our countries.
Oh yeah.
So it was kind of funny, but yeah, it's those guys are taxed to the hilt in the United Kingdom. I don't know if they are in Australia, but I mean they're looking at between 40 and 50%.
I haven't seen Sky News in a long time. That used to be probably I did a lot of international travel for about 30 years, and I would always find Sky News on the TV wherever I was, and yeah.
See, like here in America, when I see BBC America, it's like that's an American content station basically.
Yeah.
So what I do is I'll go to WebSDR and I'll listen to Channel 4 on the radio in the United Kingdom, and listen to what they're telling their people. So that's the benefit of WebSDRs, is that you can tune into the local broadcast stations. And get the point of view that they're feeding those countries.
Well, I use WebSDR a little bit, particularly when we fly these balloons around the world. Sometimes we get into areas where nobody, whisper just doesn't get out in those areas, and we can bring up an SDR in Russia or somewhere, and we can copy the whisper and get location reports with the SDR. And last week I used an SDR to tune in this show. We're also on shortwave. We're on 7490 right now on WBCQ. And I tuned in from Iceland and listened to the show last week in Mexico and a couple other places.
And the other thing is, for propagation, I'll have I've got multiple police scanners. I'll have it tuned into the FM outputs on 10 meters. And I'll be damned if New York doesn't pop into Vegas like you wouldn't believe.
Is that right? Yeah.
So that just blows me away because
I need to listen. So the 10 meter, you're hearing the 10 meter repeaters pretty consistently out there?
From New York.
Yeah. I need to start listening to those frequencies on 10.
And that's a little behind the set antenna on the scanner.
Yeah.
And I'm copying CW on the repeater IDs from New York. It's like, wow, unbelievable. But nobody knows 10 meters is open. That's the funny part. You go to 10 meters and it's dead. Nobody's there. And yet I'm listening to the repeater IDs.
Well, the band, let me tell you, I've noticed the bands are alive. It's just nobody's on them. You have a contest, they're going to be there. It's going to be full if there's a contest. So I think the bands are workable. It's just that not many, maybe most people think they're not open. But
well, it's also the holiday season right now.
Yeah.
And the other thing is I throw up a resonant dipole. Anytime I want to work a different band, I'll throw up a temporary antenna resonant. And so I don't even have to use an antenna tuner. Yeah. But, and it doesn't matter if it's 35 feet off the ground or 60 feet. You know, as long as you've got something that has some type of efficiency when it radiates. Because I was watching the tuners, and tuners are great. Yeah, you can tune up a bed spring, but the efficiency is not going to be good. The radio is going to put out 100 watts, but that's going to turn into heat. So it's like, don't try to fool everybody by saying, oh, a tuner is going to get you wherever you want to go. It just makes it capable of transmitting. It just doesn't mean you're going to transmit good, though.
Yeah.
So don't fool everybody by thinking that it's going to transmit good.
But you have to realize, though, that's better than nothing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We always measure against nothing.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, back when we were running RG58, it was better than nothing, and we didn't know better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We accepted the laws.
Yeah.
You know, so.
In the snow, uphill both ways.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's just so easy to throw a dipole up. And the thing is, if you get used to throwing up temporary antennas, if an event ever happens and you need to throw up an antenna somewhere, you're already skilled. I mean, it's easy as pie to throw up a resonant dipole at 30 feet.
Yeah.
You know, I grab a bottle of water and a string, and I'll throw that over a tree.
Yeah.
And that's how I get my height, just like that. And you see other people, they have to use a drone and bows and arrows, and grab a bottle of water. I mean, it's real easy to do.
All you need is a weight and a string.
That's all.
Yep.
That's all. Sure, it's nice to have the bow and arrow. It's nice to have a drone. But, I mean, you don't need it. Yeah, I mean, you can get on the air.
And you don't need a one-to-one SWR.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can go.
Man, back when we got our license, nobody had an SWR meter back then.
No, my first apartment, I took an alligator clip and clipped it onto the rain gutter outside the apartment complex.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it worked.
Yeah.
Was it efficient? Who knows? Who cares?
See, that's just it. With an efficient antenna, you can work the world with 1 watt.
There you go.
You know?
Tom, do you still have that multi-band cobweb up?
I gave it away. The cobweb. I gave my cobweb away. I got so many antennas here that I headed out behind a building back here, and a ham was in a neighborhood one day. They had a sale down the street, and I said, "Hey, do you want a cobweb?" And yeah, I'll take it. So he came down here and put it on top of his car and drove off with it, man. Why? What's the question about the cobweb?
I've got one.
No, that one's resident on, it's really resonant on all the frequencies it's tuned to, so that's a good one.
Yeah.
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 It's really nothing more than a folded fan dipole.
Yep.
Again, A
Yeah.
resonant antenna doesn't mean it's an efficient antenna.
Yeah, the cobweb's pretty cool, but really, if you look at the design, it's nothing more than a dipole that's been folded around.
Well, the secret to the cobweb was, and I had the plans and I built it, and it turned out really nice, is the 1-to-4 balun. Not a 4-to-1, but it was a 1-to-4 because the impedance is about 12.5 ohms. So
yeah. I had the official MFJ version,
yeah,
or have. I need to fix a wire or two on it because the pine trees above it have helped it.
Yep.
I just use a J5RV myself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, what was it, Colin?
Yeah, I just use a G5RV. I've used one of them for about 10 years now, and you hear lots of bad stories about them, but it seems to work fine for me. I can get through to, the US and all that on 40 metres, and
yeah.
It even, with my tuner, which is a good tuner, it even actually tunes up okay on 10 metres and 15. But normally I use the vertical, it's actually an 11 metre antenna. But really it'd be closer to 10 metres. It's made for our 27 meg marine frequencies, and when I'm not using it on that, I actually just flick it over and use it on 10 metres or even 15 metres. And that seems to work all right. But that's the G5RV's hanging off of my 60-foot tower in an inverted V. So the worst thing is where you can't have any of those sort of things you were showing for shooting the antennas up. They're all illegal in Australia, including the slingshot.
Is that
so
right?
You've got to wait.
Man.
Got to wait for someone with a...
Hey, well, how do you guys protect yourself if a kangaroo comes after you?
Boomerangs.
Well, probably not even allowed to do that because they're protected.
yeah. You know,
I'll stick with no comment for the ruse.
I'm thinking. I saw a video. You know, I saw a video here a few months ago. A guy, his hunting dogs, the kangaroo was attacking his hunting dogs, and he went out. He went out and with his fist. With his fist, he fought the kangaroo.
He got in a lot of trouble for that.
Did he really? Oh, man. Well, why? I mean, he was protecting his property, his animal. I mean,
see, I thought those roos were delicious.
Well, they actually are.
You know, that's what I thought.
If it's cooked right, it's one of the best meats.
I'll bet.
We love eating our national emblems.
Well, I just want to say I pray for y'all guys down there in Australia all the time.
Yeah.
Ours was almost the turkey, and we're going to eat that this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't actually have Thanksgiving in Australia, but turkey's okay.
Again, it's how it's cooked, because it could be dry, and then it's not that good.
I was going to say, if you want turkey, do not let me cook it.
Well, the thing about turkey is you eat about 2 slices of it, and you're going to be asleep on the couch really quickly.
I think it is, yeah. That, and we eat too much. We just get bloated, and then we drink a lot of beer, and it's like game over. Put the game on and just take a nap.
This is my favorite time of the year. I'll lay on the couch with the sun coming in, and you won't see me until Monday.
You know, as I get older, I'm finding out that I'm getting really good at taking naps.
Yeah. Well, you remember, there's this meme going around of, remember as a child, you used to fight your parents and everybody to stay up to 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And now, as an adult, I'm fighting to stay up at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Well, my problem is I've got a cat, a stray cat that visits me out at the ham shack, and she'll lay on my chest, and I can't go anywhere at that point. She takes a nap, so I go ahead and I take a nap. I'll get up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up till 4 or 5 in the morning. You know, and then it's time to go back to bed. It's like
when I had my heart surgery, Godzilla, the 22-pounder, she likes to lay on my chest, and of course the doctor's like, can't do that.
Yeah.
And I actually had to take a box and form fit it to my chest so that she could lay on top of the box.
Yeah.
That's 4 boxes.
You know, the box made it.
Oh, tell them what happens if you lock them out of the bedroom there, Glenn.
Oh. Well, first of all, Shadow's got a screwdriver hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
They will literally pound on the door and you can hear the door rattling. I mean, these are the thing about a Maine Coon. They are like 3-year-old children that never grow up. They don't know the meaning of the word no. No just means you're doing it wrong. Let's find a different way to do it. And it's a running battle, and you'll never win. All you do is wait for them to take their nap and then get done whatever you needed done. Like,
yeah, but that's you said that they're day cats. They're not night cats. So you have to wait till it's dark before you can do something.
Actually, they sleep more during the day. It's at 3 o'clock in the morning that they light up. All right, now think about this. I have a 15-pound cat chasing a 22-pound cat with tufted fur under the feet on hardwood floors. It's like you're throwing bowling balls around at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Because they'll be slamming into the walls and everything.
All right, guys, the show is about to end here on shortwave. Our time period is going to end in about 3 minutes. Hey, Charlie.
Well, y'all be sure and get your calendars from ARRL this year.
Yeah, get your calendars from ARRL. It's got Glenn's cats on
Yeah,
it. So
if you want your own personal copy of Rodan and Godzilla, get the calendar.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Same to
you. Charlie, do you have a smoke detector, Charlie?
No, we have not us here at home.
If you have
houses are made of bricks here, not of wood, so they don't burn.
What's your furniture? What's your furniture made out of?
Yeah.
Yes, of course they burn, but at least they don't disappear into
Oh man!
ashes.
Well, look, hey, if you had a smoke detector, I'm told that there is some radioactive material in the smoke detector.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't have one at hand, so
I can't believe you need it, Charlie.
I'll find a little box for my Geiger counter, and I will take it with me in the bag and check things. Check things.
I may have some old broken smoke detectors. Maybe I'll take the uranium out of it and send it down to Charlie.
Yeah, that'll get you on the no-fly list in a hurry.
Yeah. There are some beads you can buy that are calibrated, so that you can calibrate the Geiger count, or at least know if it's working okay. But I now remember that at my parents' house there is some colored glass, like green.
Oh yeah, some of the leaded glass is
uranium glass.
Yes, so maybe some of them have uranium.
What about the old watch, the old wristwatches that used to glow in the dark? They would.
Yes. I've already checked here. I have one of these clock radios with the fluorescent handles and nothing.
But if you're a bad cook, you definitely need a smoke detector. So,
all right, guys. Hey, let me say good night to everybody out there listening on shortwave. Thanks for joining us. This is Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Good night.
All right,
Good night.
guys. Well, all right. We've officially ended our show here. If you guys want to stay on here and talk, go right ahead, and I might go get me a peanut butter sandwich or something.
Well, I think I'm going to throw the cat out of my chair and go take me a nap.
It's 1 a.m. here because you've moved the time of.
No, I didn't move it.
It's not our fault.
Our time changes, but no.
Your whatever moved it.
Yeah. Daylight savings. If I had any say in the matter, we would weld those clock hands in the same position.
Yeah, I wish they would not change the time back and forth. I can't even post
2:30 here now.
We used to have here daylight saving, and I used to enjoy it. I think it was good, but now we don't have it anymore, so it's good too.
No, just about the time I get my